The French
the
doors
back there.
behind my head.
Yeah, that's your aura.
I'm irradiating.
Radio.
Welcome, you guys.
Hey, welcome everyone to another exciting episode.
Feel it real fun for we
Yeah, I might as
on the
well
7th of
choose
July,
that.
2023.
That's right.
And we've got a few questions here today
Don't put it in
with
Perry's
those
group.
weird links.
Don't put it in Perry's group.
Yes, and they've all got titles, so I'm really happy.
Oh, there's a dumb group. I should put it in there. All right, don't do it.
And it's your manifesting, as 20 says.
You're manifesting questions
Questions
answered
answered
live.
live. Hello,
Colby,
Colby.
welcome to the show. We have a watcher now.
Yes, we
This
do.
is
We
great.
have
We
one.
love that.
Unlike
All
our
right.
lunch show, we didn't have anyone when you burn your hand.
Oh, that was great fun. I'll be showing that off today. Look at that. It's been healed. By the way, some people don't understand the color of my hands. See, they're all mottled in red anyway. See, that one wasn't quote unquote sizzled. This one was. See, that's
Hello,
the difference.
Don
I don't.
and Joe.
Don.
Valerie.
He's otherwise known as Doronto.
So go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
That's right. Sign up. Click
Do
that
that,
confirmation linky thingy do. You'll get the videos, the daily email. I sent out a cool one on money today.
Oh, nice.
I think I did.
Everyone
I have
loves
to
money.
make sure I click the link.
Yeah,
All right. Did I send out the email today? Let me know.
cool.
So we'll just outsource to Diane
Who's
and Joe.
that? I can't.
That's
Oh,
Diane and
hello.
Joe.
It's
Cool kids.
a long way away.
Yeah, it's a long way away today.
Join your 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
That's right. It's the 90-day event. Well, I got to show you the update I got from somebody lovely. We're not going to name names.
No.
Wow.
Goodie
What a week one update.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. Heidi's doing awesome.
Heidi,
Yes, that's her name.
was it her name?
Yeah.
From week one update?
Yeah.
Where you wouldn't mention any names?
That's true. That's her initials are Heidi.
Oh, hide.
Heidi. Anyway. All right. So, Victoria, shall we dive into the question today?
we shall. There's a few-
Zara.
So that's really lovely. So, the first question today is from Angela, imagining lovingly for others.
That's right.
And Angela asks, can someone not accept the imaginal act?
Absolutely.
Well, what happens when someone doesn't accept the imaginal act?
Cool. So here's what's really, really cool. You have free will to pick what state you live in. You can accept or reject any state. And this is just really, really nice because after that, free will ends. So I don't pick what I say. Right? I don't pick how I'm nice to her. Yeah, there are a lot of things that I just don't pick. But here's the really, really cool thing, right? So the state of happy, loving husband does whatever it does to her, with her, for her, right? Same thing with answering this question, so on and so forth. So I can accept or reject any state, and that includes states that other people imagine lovingly or not so lovingly for me, right?
Yeah, there's a few out there, unfortunately. Well, not.
Yeah, well,
Well,
yeah,
it probably is for you.
you know, it's one of those puzzle boxes where it's like, oh, he's really intelligent and makes lots of money from scum sucking people. No, he's a scum sucker. Anyway, they just get all confused and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine being confused. I just imagine clarity and them doing well. I imagine me doing well, right? And here's the other cool thing. Like when it comes to, and I mean, it could be anything. It's whatever they choose, they carry on. So we'll continue to answer this, but the big thing is, number one, they got free will, and here's the other cool thing. Neville Goddard talks about the whole thing of the golden rule.
I was just going to say that because.
You want to say it instead?
Well, I'm thinking, are you talking about when you imagine lovingly for others, if they reject it, it comes back to you?
Absolutely.
Anyway?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was going to say, and you
Yeah.
decided to say it.
Absolutely. See, I imagine her saying things, and sometimes she does.
Sometimes intelligently.
Sometimes she rejects the state of Victoria participating in the show, and I talk the whole fucking time.
That's right.
That's right. Something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, but that is so true, babe, because
Yeah.
like literally, I often notice, and here's the other thing. So I'm the most selfish guy on earth. Somebody hashtag that, Tony Doyle. TT is the most selfish guy in the world.
Oh,
Make it a
TT.
massive. Somebody tag Dr. Brian, my doctor of hashtags. I'm the most selfish guy in the world. And so you know what I want? I want her to be having a good time in the garden, because if she's having a good time in the garden, she's going to have a good
doesn't
time with me.
bug you.
Right? And she doesn't bother me, right? Or bug me, both, right? So if she's having a good time in the garden, she doesn't bother or bug me, both, right? And so I imagine lovingly for her, right? And if she rejects it,
a happy
yeah,
marriage.
heck, I still am a happy guy. So, shall we continue?
We shall. So
All right,
that
was pretty good.
for Angela.
That's
Thank
probably
you very much.
that's probably the best example of the golden rule ever. All right.
Thank you for your question,
All right.
Angela.
Hoo-ha.
Oh, did Tony obey?
Oh, look at him. Tony Doyle, I just love you. Oh, no, this is where Tony says he does this on his phone and he types with one finger. Right? I bow to you, my friend.
Cool.
Cool. All righty.
Okay. All right. So,
I got to say, Dontario, otherwise, I am Dontario. Triple D Don, right? So
what's the Terrio?
Oh, he's from Ontario, Dontario, right?
Sorry.
So he wrote "re funny," so for re funnies maybe.
For re-funnies.
Yes, re funnies
Instead of refunds.
Yeah, re funnies. Anyway, I thought it was funny.
Okay.
All right. I am Dontario, the Lord of Ontario. All right, something like that.
Because you can't think of another word that rhymes.
That's right, exactly.
Okay.
All right.
The next question's actually from TT.
All right.
Sizzled skin manifesting.
All right.
TT asks, why did I share the photo of my left hand in the Law of Assumption group yesterday?
All right, Law of Attraction by Neville Goddard Group. Yes.
Law of Attraction.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
somebody actually picked on me this past week. Well, I thought it was the Law of Assumption. Well, it is, but people type in Law of Attraction, and I want more people in my group.
Yeah.
But actually, we call it the LOA by Neville Goddard Group. So
yeah.
anyway,
Yes.
we're not going to pick
I thought it was Law of Attraction, but then I thought, but we are Law of Assumption. So
True.
then I thought maybe I got it all wrong.
Yeah, that's
wrong
right.
after all these years.
That's true. So,
Okay.
ready? Everybody look darkery at my right hand. Look at that.
Yes.
See, that is what my right hand looks like. All right, they're always like that. This is not the hand that I severely burned. Now, if you watch our lunch show from Fish in a Dish a few days ago.
Oh, it is the hand.
No. It was my left hand I burned.
Oh,
right?
that's right. You went to hold it to then dish.
Now look at this one.
Yes.
There should be blisters there. There should be dead skin, probably charred.
It was
right?
fresh out of a 180-degree oven. Which
Now that's 180
is like
Celsius. That's like
300
350, 360 in US.
Yeah.
Right? So she just pulled it out. She goes, don't touch it. Dish your own damn
I
fish.
told him not to touch it.
So I'm already-
And then he goes,
Oh, yeah. And you can hear the sizzle of the skin.
oh,
I swear to God. Go back and listen to our lunch, watch our lunch video. And you can watch
I
Victoria
swore
like
I
freaking
swore
out.
that.
Right? So, but you can hear the
I know.
and you can also hear me saying the F word, which I rarely ever do.
well, I did too.
Right? Oh, yeah, absolutely. And here's what's really cool. You're going to hear, so I run some cold water on it, first aid, right? Which we're going to blame the first aid for fixing it, right? The skin sizzled, right? You can hear it, right? And so you'll hear in the background, and you'll hear something coming out of my mouth like, doobie doobie doo.
I didn't realize you did that because I
Right.
was so in the moment.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly. But when you listen to the video, you'll hear me.
Yeah.
Doobie doobie, something like that, right? I've already entered into my "it's all right" state, right? Not that I need fucking skin grafts or like won't be able to type for 5 days. Could you imagine me not typing for 5 days? I would be nuts.
Yeah, you would.
Right, I type a
I'd
lot.
leave home.
Exactly. I'm going camping with my sister. We're at her house. Right. So here's why I say that. Say I don't have time for injuries. Right? This is one of those dream-driven day things. Right? You can see it moving through a lot of lessons. What I don't have time for, I don't do. All right. So let me tie this into the first question. Ready? I could have rejected that. Or I could have imagined lovingly for me in my hand and then rejected it. So it comes down to not really the states that you imagine, but the states that you accept. Right? There's only, at the center of it all, there's only one I am imagining. Right? So whatever is being imagined, I'm curious about what are you accepting. Right? For you people in Remarkable. Right? Imagine, accept. So,
Gotcha.
right. See, some of y'all know I'm talking in secret language.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, Zara says, I've burnt my hand a couple times. Vinegar is amazing at cooling and healing. You know what I love doing with vinegar? I like taking vinegar with garlic extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of other stuff and just, saying, hey, Victoria, would you like a back rub? But anyway.
I like adding it to my rinse water for my clothes. But anyway.
Yeah, we all have our own thing that we do with our own things.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So that was from TT.
That was me asking.
Thank you very much.
And again, you can reject your own imaginal act. A lot of people do that, right? They will sit down, they will go into the state of sleep or whatever. They'll imagine something lovely. They'll wake up and they go, and they'll just reject it, right? You can hear me live on that lunch thing, and I may pull that video and turn it into something. But you can hear where I've accepted my imaginal act while I've got my hand under the cold water. Suddenly, I fully have accepted my doobie-doobie-doo. Right? You don't go. You're not into doobie-doobie-doo when you got to be rushed to the hospital or something. Right? Let's just be honest, right? Except for me. But anyway, we don't do horse pistols.
The next question's from Remarkable Lisa. Discontent and desires.
I just love this. By the way, I was going to text her this morning, because how we love her questions. And so I imagined getting her question, and she typed it in before I could text her. So score, another win.
Lisa.
Radio.
So Lisa asks, hello, 20 and Victoria. Hello. Lately, I've noticed feeling discontent. There is a lot of emphasis on gratitude, and some say being grateful will bring more to be grateful for. What is happening for me is ignition. As I let the discontentment be, it is helping me to know my new desires. I'd appreciate hearing what you have to say about this.
All right, ready? Doobie-doobie-doo. I just love this one, right? So Victoria makes the fish on a dish. We shoot it live, right? Yeah, all that bullshit. I reach, you can hear the skin sizzle. Okay, go watch that video before I'll pull it and do something with it. But you can hear the skin sizzle. That's the greatest fucking feeling, right? Now, here's the cool thing. Ready? A lot of New Age people will have you go, you have to be grateful for what you have so you can get more to be grateful for. Well, I've got a burned fucking hand, right? I'm not grateful that I've got a burned fucking hand. Okay, I'm probably need to go to the hospital because when you hear the sizzle sound and you realize shit is not good, I'm not grateful that I will probably have to go to the hospital.
No,
right? This is not the way that I roll. Okay, did I have some discontent? You're fucking right. You can hear me in the background. Fuck, right? She just fucking told me. I just grabbed the hot thing, right? 350 degrees, right? It's hot, right? Sizzle. Seriously, you can hear the skin sizzle. It's fucking great, right? And so I put it into the cold water. By the way, it doesn't matter that I did what I'm doing out of state. Here's the cool thing. There's 7,000 ways to treat burns online. Ignore all of them because your state will have you do what you need to do, right? So I'm immediately moving into, I don't have fucking time with this. I've got a call coming up. I've got shit I got to write. I've got stuff I got to do. Yeah, I don't have time for the burn. And so I'm grateful that I know who I am and how this works. Doobie-doobie-doo. Right? That's what's cool to me. So what am I grateful for? That I've decided years ago to explore this stuff and keep exploring this stuff. Side note, we've posted several times photos of me having gashed my hand open. That was my old way of doing this. Victoria'd go to work, and I'd be cooking shit, and I'd gash my fucking hand open because I'm slicing vegetables and stuff that she likes to eat, right? Yeah, meat you don't got to slice, you just kill it and grill it, right? So I'm slicing vegetables, and I take a chunk out of my own hand because I like meat, and it's oh, fuck me dead. And then it heals. Right, and I've showed photos of that, but people are oh, whatever, maybe it didn't cut it all that bad, maybe just nicked the skin, something like that. You can hear the sizzle. I imagine being able to share one of these instant revisions, instant movements. I've got it now.
Yeah.
Right? Documenting it on this show, too. I love documenting wins. So, Lisa, did I have some discontent? You betcha. What's my desire? To type. To swim. If I burned this really bad, you see that? Again, just to give you the comparison, that's the normal hand, right? That's the one that probably shouldn't have skin. So, discontent, you betcha. right? I am not contented. I am not grateful that I've like flesh fried. What am I into? Doobie doobie doo. I'm grateful that I know who I am and how this works. So, great question. Let's see how else we answer it.
Yeah, cool. Good one, Lisa. I noticed for me that I don't know really, like I wouldn't have thought that was discontent. Pain, anger, that's what it would be for me. But I sometimes get discontent when I get restless. I'm not sure what I want to do and blah, 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 and all of that sort of comes into play. But I totally get is as I let the discontentment be. So when I just like go back to bed with my iPad for a bit.
All
Do
right.
you know what I mean? It's like, because it feels like I don't know what state to move into
Right.
when I'm discontent. It's like I don't know.
Not sure yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And then at some point, it happens.
Yeah. I don't want to be here. Right?
Yeah.
How cool is that? So you could just get to move into like if I was
Yeah,
where I
I don't
wanted to
wanna be here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. If I was doing what I wanted to do, I get this one all the time with coaching clients. Like, I want to form a business, but I don't know what to do. Cool, let's talk. And we find a way to have them nail what works for them with this whole thing of accomplished and satisfied, doing what you love with great money. We fish with all that. We don't end there. We start there. And when we fish with all that, suddenly something shows up, and then the smaller chunks take care of themselves. And then Victoria goes, right, it's because it's a big garden. Right? She could plant, she could sow seeds, she could pull shit, she could
Clean.
she could do all kind of things.
I could cook.
That's right.
Could do the accounts. No, but
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't do the accounts in the garden.
I never do that.
I know. That would be contaminating.
It would.
That's right.
Okay,
Doobie
excellent.
doobie doo.
Good one, Lisa. Thank you for your question.
All right. I have no idea what Mark Dockery is typing out, but this is, yeah, I'll have to look it up. Dockery, send me a link or something, right? I'm curious. All right.
Okay. The next question is from DDD Dontario.
He is Dontario.
How did you discover Neville Goddard? And Dontario asks, how did you discover Goddard and memories of him from when you first discovered him?
Cool. So this is really good. I've written about this, but I'll share some stuff that I normally don't, I guess. I used to go buy books about an hour outside of town. It was an hour's walk. We didn't have a car.
And you were young then.
I was young. So I would walk to the bookstores like from 10 to 12, 10 to 13, 14, something like that.
Years of age.
Years of age.
Yeah.
And I'd walk to the bookstore, and the books were cheap. They started out like at a nickel a piece. I think they topped out at 20, 25 cents a piece when I was going there. And long story short, one of the books I came across one time was Neville. But see, as crazy as I was, I thought everybody else was going to buy what I wanted to buy. I had this lack mentality, right? So I'd be in the corner bookstore. There'd be me and
Hoarding them.
there'll be me and a 97-year-old woman in this converted barn, and I'd be in the self-help and the money sections and shit like that. And so I'm finding stuff, and it's like, oh my God, like the power of awareness. It's like, fuck me, someone's going to take it, right? So I'd put it in my shopping thing, and I'd go up and I'd buy my 8 books for $2, and I'd start walking home. And so I'm going through and I'm looking at like something like Think and Grow Rich, the up and coming financial collapse of 1972, that kind of thing. And it's like, so yeah, because I collected them all. The up and coming financial collapse of 1972, the up and coming financial collapse of 1974. I wanted to see what was different. And the up and coming financial collapse of 76. You get the point, right? So meanwhile, I'm walking home and I got that. I got Laura Hayden's How to Make Love to a Woman and Satisfy Her Every Time. Talk about the ideal book for a teenage boy. It's like, damn, that's a title that I will remember till the day I die. Red book cover.
You probably would have even had a woman at that point.
Oh, no, that's the whole thing. But
girls.
I was preparing. I always be investing. So this whole thing, so I have all my books, and I'm walking home. And when I'm looking through the Neville book, thinking this would be great, and it had too much scripture, so I gave it a pitch. And I was like, "Yep, yeah."
In the bin.
In the bin, right? So why carry it?
No, I know.
It's a long fucking walk home. So the second time I got into Neville Goddard, this will go back to Lisa's question, was after the riots in Camp Hill. My ex-wife joined Amway, and one of the books our upline gave us was a Neville Goddard book. So I don't know which one. But I looked through that as well as Think and Grow Rich, so on and so forth.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, How to Win Friends and Friends and Manipulate People or something like
people.
that. Yeah, that kind of thing. So I'm reading through all these books, and I remember this Neville guy, so on and so forth. And then the third time came along, and I remembered Neville. I was experiencing the events of the Promise, and it's like, this Neville guy talked about something like this, but he didn't make a big deal about it. He did, but he didn't, like a lot of people. So that's basically my intro to Neville Adventure. It had 3 chapters. The second part of the question, memories.
Yeah, and memories of him from when you first discovered him. What were you sort of...
Yeah, that's probably it. So let's see how else I answer this question. So
okay, I obviously tuned out a bit there because... Did you say about the bit about the chiropractor?
Book. No.
Didn't the chiropractor also... that weird chiropractor thing that you like, and I thought he had it on his shelf or something.
No, I don't think he did. Rev Zone may have. I don't remember. But
Okay, cool.
he wasn't a major pillar in that episode.
Not a major pillar.
Yeah.
So not a memory there, Don Terrio.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I tell you what, if you're in southwestern Pennsylvania and you want an interesting chiropractor, Richard Vizone, tell him I sent you, right? He's a very fascinating
He's still
fellow.
practicing, you reckon?
I hope so. I just send him business.
Well, exactly. Okay.
Right.
Not dead yet. All right.
Yeah, not dead, can't quit, right? Yeah, 20's motto.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you, Don Terrio, for your question.
20 for your answer. Meanwhile, 20's going to take a drink.
That only comes at the end, if at all. Yeah, you have a drink.
Boy, she's got attitude today.
Well,
Would you like a drink?
what is it?
It's tea.
Yeah, but is it the licorice one?
Yes.
Nah.
I love my licorice tea.
Yeah, I know you do.
You know why I buy it? Because nobody else drinks it.
Okay.
Colby.
What about vertical? Or you've got the lid on right? I'd hate it to... Last time we did a show...
Yeah.
we had
As
one
he
of
goes
those.
to see if the lid's on right, which
Yeah,
will pour
tips it
hot
up,
tea
so-
right on his crotch. Anyway.
Live, another sizzling moment.
That's right. Anyway.
Okay.
Doobie doo.
The next question is from Dream Driven Day. Riri, is it wrong to desire perfection? Riri asks...
By the way, this is the perfect question for today's show.
Riri asks, like, I want a perfect relationship. I don't mean blue-eyed, 6-foot person or something, but quality of relationship. And I often get to hear, you will not get everything in one person. Fights happens. Relationships are not perfect. What do you have to say about
All right,
this?
I'm 5'11".
Yeah,
Probably
6 foot.
Yeah, so I'm not quite 6 foot.
He
I
does
do
have
have
blue
blue
eyes,
eyes.
though.
That's true.
But anyway.
Right. So here's what's cool, right? So like when I listen to other people, right? I find what other people just tell you what they're accepting as true. All right. Yeah. Let's get incredibly honest here, right? When I met her, I'm almost a middle-aged guy, right? She's pretty much almost a middle-aged woman. Been married before, come from totally different cultures, so on and so forth. Both a bit weird and adventurous.
Yeah.
but it all works out, right? So at the end of the day, when we met, fell in love, all that stuff, and it's like, why the heck would I settle for anything less? Yeah, I think that this is really important because if you believe what other people are, you got to remember, 99% of the people on the planet love compromise. They will compromise about everything, right? And then they'll tell you, and then they'll be victims, right? They'll compromise, then they'll tell you that they're victims, and I'm not a fan of that at all. On the other hand, it's like those things like, is our show perfect? It is what it is. Right, but if it's like if we were willing to settle for less than this, it's like, well, we could do it without video, right? Yeah, we could do it, and you could just sit over there, right? You could just watch. Never settle, always soar. You know how we explore that in Triple D. This is really important because here's what I'd imagine: let it be all about you, right? Happy, loving husband. God darn it, this woman is incredible. That's all I gotta say. What we have here is priceless, and it feels eternal in the most lovely way. Not like, will you shut up, eternal, but as in I long to come back home and see her. I call her on the way home from the pool. I only drive 3 Ks to the pool, right? When I get in the car, I call home. If she's available, we chat. I love having my little chats with her while I'm driving.
He just loves his glasses.
Yeah, I call her on my
Everyone
glasses,
jealous.
right? but it's just it's one of those really cool things where if you settle on one thing, I can tell you're going to settle everywhere, and don't settle. So, anything you want to add to that?
No, but I totally get it, Riri. It's the quality of the relationship. It's nothing to do with how they look, how much money they got, what, their background, whatever. It's like, it's all about what you two bring to the relationship and how it becomes just like the perfect fit.
Yeah.
It's like a jigsaw bit, and it just feels right.
She brings good out of me. She actually brings greatness out of me. It's just by what we do and who we are with each other. So if you can imagine that, instead of like I listen to people talk about their spouses at the pool, and sometimes I'll say this will fit in with one of the other questions. It's like, did you marry them because you hate them? Yeah, I'm really not understanding this, right? Yeah.
How did that just come to be?
Yeah. It's like, I speak of her honorably, respectfully, to the point where people ask me about relationship advice. They get where I'm coming from. So this would be the thing. You want to get perfection? Choose that. Choose to have a relationship that people talk about, that you can talk about in a lovely way. So, yep. Yeah. What are you bringing to the table? And what are you bringing out of each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good shit. All right. So.
Excellent, Riri. Have fun.
That was the perfect question.
Yeah. The next question's from Kathy in Manifesting Mastery.
That's right.
Silence and meditation. And Kathy asks, is going into the silence the same as meditation? So this is when Neville always says at the end of his lectures.
Yeah, now let us go into the silence.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's what she means.
Cool. So here's something that's really, really cool. I'm going to say no. Oh, I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers here. Right? Notice that there's a response to that. Right? So here's the thing. If you ask 20 people what meditation means, you're going to get 10 different answers. Right? So, I'm just going to avoid all that. Is meditation useful? Is it fun? Sure. Absolutely. I used to do a lot of it. Been trained in a lot of different kinds, right? There's basically two primary kinds from what I can tell, but that's all moot. But this whole thing is going into the silence the same as meditation. If you love duration, here's what I'd notice. Going into the silence is not an activity. Yeah, you are the silence that hears the sound of my voice. You're the stillness that notices all apparent motion, and that apparent motion happens within. Done. If you want to meditate, go for it. It's an activity. If you want to drink whiskey, go for it. It's an activity. This is going to ruffle other feathers because they're going to say, he said, meditating and whiskey are the same. No, I am not. What I'm saying is that there's countless variations on this activity that we call meditation, this experience that we call meditation. I want you to notice what is experiencing. You are the silence that hears the sound of my voice. You are the stillness that all apparent motion happens within. Neville would say, now let us go into the silence. And maybe 30 seconds or a minute later, any questions, please. This is, again, something worth noticing because you don't have to meditate for hours to ever feel it real. This is another trap. I get people that get sucked into 5 hours of brainwave recordings, some of them with subliminal things. They just want to sit and be still. Real stillness happens when she's shopping and she sees mustard. Okay, real stillness happens. And again, Joe Weld and I have a lot of fascinating shares and experiences in talking. If you watch a movie, and you watch two people walking toward each other and they catch each other's eyes and they start to fall in love, what do they always show in the movie? Time distortion. Time slows down. When two people share loving moments, time slows down, time stops. Right? This whole thing, why? Because what you are is love. Let me tie this all together. What you are is love. You are the silence that hears the sound of my voice. You are the silence that hears the sound of your voice, both inner and outer. You are the stillness that all apparent motion is sensed by and happens within. And whenever you really, really get this, you get, does meditation have value? You betcha. Is it the same as what I consider going into the silence? Again, Neville just had you do it for a minute, maybe 30 seconds. It wasn't a long thing. It was just stop and be still. Stop and notice the stillness that you are. The first principle, be still and know I am God. Notice you are awareness, and you condition that somehow. So that's what I got. This will be great. Can't wait for the mail.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you, babe. And thank you, Kathy, for your question.
Great question, by the way.
Yeah, because he says it all the time. Well,
I tell you what, here's another thing, right? I'm trying to still my mind. Your mind's job is not to be still. Your mind's job is to think. Your mind is a little black and white television set in the corner of this massive apartment building. You are this massive amount of stillness, and there's a little black and white television set that's sometimes tuned to static, sometimes tuned to the news, sometimes tuned to MTV. That's fine. Don't still it. Just don't let it run the show. Right? This is the whole thing. So you don't have to still anything. You are the stillness. You don't have to get stuck on the television set. Right? How much fun is that? So, I interrupted you. I am sorry.
No, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is good that I interrupted her. She teaches me lessons. I have no idea why that does that.
Yeah, you're doing something.
I don't know.
I'm going to click it after we finish the show.
You guys don't want to know.
What's behind
You guys don't want to know.
And the last question today is from Brian in Manifesting Mastery.
That's right.
Revise the conversation.
That's right.
And Brian asks how to revise a conversation as you hear it and not be accused of not listening properly.
All right.
You're not listening to me.
Hey, every now and then, I do get like, are you listening? All right. Now, here's the thing, right? So let's go back to the old... I got started in neurolinguistic programming in 1987 or 88. And it was a specialized training for police officers with an interview, interrogation, and hostage negotiation, right? It was a great week, right? My buddy Tony, he found this training program, right? Because we were both part-time cops working for two departments. And if you wanted to make great extra money, you took optional courses that they would pay for. And so he found this, and he goes, this will be right up your alley. And of course it was, right? So that was my first training with this shit. And one of the things that they brought up was, he who asks the questions is in control. So it's like, all right, that could be useful in an interview, interrogation, or hostage negotiation, right? In other words, marriage. But anyway, so
not in friendships and stuff.
Exactly. So when Victoria says, "Are you listening to me?" Y'all know this is I'm just having a lot of fun with this,
you know
right?
What's going to happen after the show.
You know what happens after the show, right? So here's the thing, right? So let's role play. You pretend you're the guy that I'm revising the conversation as I hear it, right? And you ask the question.
See, so I got this. Oh, I asked that question?
No.
Oh, I ask a question.
Oh, well, am I listening to you? Right? Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Right? Yeah, that kind of thing.
After I've been blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Problem. Are you listening to me?
All right. By the way, this is real. Right? Ready? Let me ask you a question. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you noticed when people repeat the same stories, they keep having the same circumstances? Let's try something different. Right?
Yeah, but this is different. That's what I've been going to say, probably.
Yeah, no, this is the same. This is what
I know. I
right.
get it.
Right. Yeah, see, no,
that's my pattern or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly, right? And this would be exactly what shows up this kind of fun, this kind of levity. And by the way, could they get pissed? Absolutely. I've had people find other people to go complain to. Right? It's like, this is great.
I've got a mother-in-law that does it to everyone.
Oh, yeah. The phone rings. Yeah. Victoria.
Not my mother-in-law.
By the way, Victoria doesn't ever ask if I'm answering the phone anymore. The phone rings. Here's what happens. The phone rings, and I look, and I see she's here. So I'm not picking it up because the only person I want to talk to that knows my phone number,
Yeah. That's our landline. That's
her,
true.
right?
Like, that's the only person that rings the landline, really.
Yeah, so I'm not picking that up, right? And of course, every now and then, I mean, like this whole thing is, I revise the conversation as I hear it. It's the only loving thing I can do. And if they do comment, which is pretty rare, it's like, I'm just like, okay, you've just given me permission to talk. This is great. Are you listening? Let me ask you a question. Right. Yeah. Have you noticed? And if how are they going to answer that? I have not noticed that. Good. Well, how about if you do? Right? If they say, oh, I have noticed that, right, and you continue to tell the same story.
Yeah, right.
Radio. Right?
Maybe it's time to do something.
I am not polite, but I'm loving. There's another old NLP thing, value hierarchy. I'd rather be loving than polite. Some people put politeness above loving. Well, you have to be polite with people. Said I'd rather love them. Anyway, that's profoundly fun. So.
Well, it is loving, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
And there will be times also, here's my other third weapon, right? Hold that thought. Let me ask you a question. And I'll take the conversation any place I want. Right? Hold that thought. Let me ask you a question. Right? 9 times out of 10, they're not going to return to it. Not with me. Because they'll get, I am not interested. I'm interested in you. I'm not interested in your drama. Right? I'm interested in you. I'm not interested in your opinion about something that you know nothing about. There's the fun thing. Because I have people all the time, they tell me, have you heard about there's another something in America? And it's like, don't care. I mean, first of all, you don't understand the culture of the people. I do. Second of all, not interested in the news. Let's talk about something cool, shall we? So, I guess that's about it for me. Anything you want to add in, Victoria?
No, I don't think so.
All right. So,
yes.
Victoria.
So, thank you, Brian, very much for your question.
That was an awesome question.
Thank you, 20, for all your answers.
Oh, timeless wisdom of the ages, you used to call it. Back in the old days.
Wisdom of the ages.
In the early days of our relationship.
You told me to say that.
Probably. It wouldn't
be on one show, and
yeah.
then I kept it up.
That wouldn't shock me.
And what we want to know is, tell us, what was your hashtag Strawberry Bits?
All right. Joe, welcome.
You go
Great
first,
call.
babe.
I just love doing this. My strawberry bit, actually having people show up. You guys, that's it. And for you guys that share the show to invite other people to show up, cool. That means a lot to me. Like I love the feedback. Like anytime I get feedback, I'm seeing like Lisa Ann Laurent, Joe Weldon, so on and so forth. Cool. I love the feedback. But when you guys invite people, that just tells me something. It scares me when people like don't share our stuff, but share like all this really weird stuff like David Icke. We're all controlled by lizards. It's like, right, you're sharing David Icke, but you won't share me?
Yeah.
You email me to ask me question after question after question. How often does David Icke email you back? Weird. Anyway.
Well,
all right. What was yours, Victoria?
I really liked how it started with imagining lovingly for others.
Yes.
With Angela's question about, when someone doesn't accept your imaginal act or things like that. And how so many touched on that, but how that just went straight to the last, Brian's last question, revise the conversation like, if someone's accusing you as not, are you listening to me? And you're imagining lovingly for that person with what, do you know what I mean? With what they've been telling you and maybe try and steer them in a certain direction. Well, not try and steer them, but like you said, you'll often go, have you thought about it this way at all?
Let me ask you a question.
And,
By the way, that's a great one. Let me ask you a question. Right? Either they will or they won't. If they won't, it's like, cool. Yeah. No, I want to tell you something. Oh, cool. I'm not interested in that. I'd love to ask you a question, though. Right? I will give them status. I don't want to give, for you guys in Remarkable and Triple D, I want to give them status.
Yeah.
I don't want to give them problem status. Most people will go, I will suck attention out of you because here's a problem that I just must tell you about. Why must you tell me? Right? You know, it's a status steal versus a real gift of status. So, boom.
Cool.
See, Victoria inspires this shit. See what she brings out of me? She says shit and it brings this forth. Otherwise, I sit in the corner and smoke cigars. I love smoking cigars.
That's what the first one is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll just show the listening audience.
That's
'Cause
great.
I tapped on something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it wasn't sideways.
That's cool.
It goes anyway.
Oh, we could
So
actually
I wonder
use
what the
that.
other one is.
Oh, we don't want to know.
Yeah, that's probably.
Oh my God, show them that one. That's beautiful.
And that's the other one. I don't know. I don't know.
I
why
have
they're
no
there.
idea why they're there.
They're
Right?
a love and a like button.
All right.
Probably bought it from a Facebook.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
sorry you guys.
And the
I
column
had to
unknowns.
tap it because I wondered. Oh, because they were grey boxes.
That's right.
So while you keep typing in your hashtag strawberry bits, go to easymanifestingmethods.com.
Yeah, by the way, if you've made it this far, we have released State Stacking. I still haven't done good ad copy for it, but if you want to check out State Stacking, which I'm getting some awesome feedback on, it's at NevilleGoddardStore.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Join your 90-day adventure. Sorry. Join your 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
but make
I got
sure you
totally
wait
lost.
3 years before you actually sign up for it. I still don't
Who
get it.
says that?
I get the emails from people, you know, like that. Yeah, I wish I would have
Thinking
signed
about,
up 3
yeah.
years ago.
But can you answer just these few questions?
Yeah, 300 emails later.
And for funniness,
Lisa.
I'm not typing that in though, because it'll make it too long and then you'll never be able
Yeah,
to,
you
like
get
it's
the
too
tiny
little.
little print.
For refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That is right.
But that's not on, I can't remember who suggested that. Was it Don Terrio? Someone suggested it in the text.
Ontario.
Funniness. And thank you for that, but I'm not taking it up.
I wonder if when Don Terrio takes his walks, he'll like have that stuck in his head now. I am Don Terrio, living in Ontario.
Yeah, there's Bruce.
There he is. Hey, come here, Brucey. Come see Uncle Joe
Probably
Weldon.
won't now.
Come see Uncle Joe Weldon. Come here.
Some kisses.
Come on. How about a
Hey.
kiss? How about a kisses?
Bruce.
How about kisses?
Bruce,
Come on.
Bruce.
You got to turn
Come
around,
on.
pal.
There.
Come
That
on.
way.
Anyway,
Bruce.
all right, that ain't happening. Bruce, come on, buddy. Come here. What? It's not scary. It's a microphone. Oh, there we go. I love Brucey boy.
Lovely
All right.
Brucey boy.
See you guys.